what is a music video right now? I couldn't tell you the last music video I watched. You know, music videos would be a thing. It was like a release, and like it was a big deal. The MTV would lead up to it. You know, new Justin Timberlake in 5, 4. It'd be a countdown. I'm excited. TRL. For me, filmmaking is more powerful than music because it encompasses music, but also has visuals and artistic direction and writing, and a lot of the categories of art are sort of slammed into one wall, which is a film, right? You know, I was lucky enough to sort of start early. So I was like in college when I had a big video drop. We made 1999, I was in college. I'd done a couple other videos before this that happened, but that was a big one that was running on TV. I didn't have cable, and my friends that had cable were like, yo, bro, you know? And they spelled my fucking name wrong. They spelled my name with a T, they spelled a gold watch. A couple of those experiences are like, you know what? I always insist that my name goes on the front. And it's like, trust me, bro, I'm not gonna put some bad shit, put my name on it.
I think my earliest memory of shooting photos when I was a kid, I went on a field trip. I was probably like 6 or 7, and I grabbed my parents' 110 camera and took all the cartridges of film that they had and shot all of them. Like I just shot photos of everything on the field trip, and I couldn't wait to get all the photos back. When I enrolled in school, you know, I took a lot of classes that were sort of more advanced, and they were like, you can't do that. You have to learn like our way. I sat in a classroom where they were explaining what a camera was and like how lighting worked, and then I went to another one where it was like, this is how you process film, and I'm like, I've had a darkroom since I was 11. I mean, I really know more. I know more than these people, you know? I didn't want to learn their way. Like I wanted to learn my way because it was so much fun, and I was actually like kind of getting results that made me happy. And so I got all my money out and used that money to move to San Francisco to skateboard for the summer, and I never left.
It's a gift and a curse, this internet thing, and it felt like the Wild West. It's definitely, like I said, an access point that didn't exist before. That's amazing, but it's also weird and spooky sometimes. When I started making films, there was no internet, right? I had musician friends that could literally sit in their studio at night and make like a really beautiful 10-minute composition. So for me to just even get out of the house and go shoot, for me to start, I had to hire people, right? So the internet came in and allowed me to just dip into like the library of Alexandria, bro, and like it's like the whole world is sitting there, and it's like, okay, so now what stories, you know, it's sort of like almost leveled the playing field in a sense. Like it got back to concept again, I think, which is a great place, because now you have to think a little bit. It got to a place where I could actually not leave the house. I could start to create frames and tell stories without having to leave my chair as much as I used to, right? Everyone has a camera now, everyone's a shooter now, and so when the camera comes out, it's a different type of thing. It's almost like you're mining social media type of recognition rather than actually trying to catch a moment. You know, a lot of those pictures don't, you know, just as you get someone famous, it's the weirdest thing. And not that I was chasing fame, I was more chasing icons and rebel rousers that were really making a noise that I was inspired by, you know? A lot of what I try to achieve in my work, whether it's photography or, you know, filmmaking or whatever, or writing even, it's like I want to take you to a place that I couldn't get myself. I could never have seen that myself or gotten there myself. Show me something that's unique to your perspective or access.
Growing up, the, I guess, digital form would be a Polaroid. Being able to see instantly what was happening. The internet is the same way. Like you get an instant reaction from anything that you put out there, whether it be good or bad. I was very excited to get online and to join Instagram. I just saw it as a way to better share my work. Not that long ago, Steve McCurry threw a shaka on like a photo of Avon Dill, and I was like, wow, like the person that shot the '84 Afghan Girl cover is throwing a shaka on a, on a photo that I shot hanging out of a car in New York City. Like, that's amazing. Like, that would not happen without the internet. There's no way.
I have a son now, you know, and it's like I don't want him to go through I had to go through in the streets of San Francisco in the 1990s. We were there, you know, San Francisco, Psycho City. We'd go there and we'd skip school and go to Psycho City, which is a big empty parking lot where there'd be battles, big battles between writers that do pieces next to each other, go over each other. It was painting. Back then it was like Cause, Twist, had keys to the bus stops, and they'd take the Calvin Klein or whatever Gap ads and bust them up, paint them, and then put them back. So you'd just be going to school and see a Cause, like, what? Did Calvin Klein have? No. Oh, dude. Like, that's what helped crack me open, was seeing people break rules and graffiti too. We were graffiti writers, right? So like, getting your art off against what you're told you're supposed to do. Back then it was like, without the internet, you had to actually go see it and do it and be in it, and it was more dangerous.
I'm very thankful I grew up shooting skateboarding because of the way that you have to do it. Like, you have to go someplace where you're not meant to be, you don't have permission, no one around you wants you there, and you still have to shoot something with all those factors that still could run on the cover of a magazine or be an ad. So now when I do commercial work and we actually do have permission and we actually do scout, it's made me that much more ready to do everything in any other job that I do, because I grew up, like I said, you know, jumping over fences and running away from cops. I've been lucky to be able to photograph a bunch of people like Dave and Matt Hoffman, and I posted a photo of Jeremy McGrath this morning that I randomly came across in a hard drive from like 2005. My camera has allowed me to just see amazing stuff that I would have never been able to see otherwise.
Following Mike's work, there was that print of the Bay Bridge where I don't even know who that skater is, I probably should, but someone skating across it empty. And having grown up there, it was just a powerful image, and plus coming off my skater shit a little bit, I'm excited. It looks sexy as hell. I don't know. I mean, he's a photographer I respect. It's one of those things, there's a bucket list of, you know, you grew up having made a skate film myself. I think it's dope to capture for and be captured by and end up on the podcast of or series like this.
I almost like not scouting and like not knowing what I'm really getting into beforehand. So I think with Jason, just knowing that he's like myself, comfortable being behind the camera. Some of Jason's work, you know, he shoots in a lot of like Super 8 and, you know, film stuff. So I brought like a, you know, fisheye lens and some Tri-X and just some film to mess with.
Both arms out. Look at me. I'm an easy subject. I can't keep shooting. God bless you, bro. That's amazing. Long time in the making. Bro, off for this, by the way. Piece of shit. That's the craziest picture of all time. Especially being from there, I was like, yeah. I can't imagine.
It's weird, yeah. It moves a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Hey.
So everything's a metaphor to me. What was your question again? What'd you ask me? I got lost again. What'd you ask me? I forget your question every time by the time I answer it. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. And I don't remember what you asked me. I forgot what you asked me, but I've already forgotten what you asked me, but I'm going somewhere. I'm gonna get your YouTube canceled. I'm gonna cancel. You guys are gonna get canceled after me.